Hey guys, it's Curtis and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival. If you haven't seen the first video, it's in the link in the description below. But in the last video we did find a village, and so in this video I think we're going to start off by going ahead and tracking down that village. There was a lot of monsters that night and I was kind of worried about it, but I did notice on the way over there that there was an illager outpost, and so that was going to be pretty useful. I knew that we can get some loot from there. I found a couple job blocks that I was really excited about getting because I don't really like to craft them. I'd rather just find them and be done with it. But I did that for the stone cutter, I did it for the blast furnace. I couldn't find any villagers, and I thought, okay, maybe this one's devoid of villagers, maybe they've been killed. And then I started getting attacked by this zombie villager, and I started worrying, okay, maybe this is a zombie village. And I was really worried about that, because that means I had nobody to trade with if I had anything to trade. But more importantly, that there was monsters nearby in this village. So I hopped on these fences to take a look around. I ended up falling in a hole that I didn't really understand how to get out of at first until I realized that these were gates. Oh. And then I could just continue with my raiding. I found a couple emeralds, and I knew that the traveling merchant would be perfect for these. Because he always has some interesting stuff. Specifically, one thing I want to get is slime balls, so that I can start working with some sticky pistons, maybe. And you know how I said that I thought this might be a zombie village? Well, this guy snuck up on me, and I thought he was a zombie villager, so I went ahead and hit him, because I didn't want to get attacked by the zombie villager myself. And then after I finished raiding the village, I went ahead and went to the outpost. Figured I might as well get some loot from here. And the very first thing I noticed, besides the whole structure, was that there was an iron golem trapped in a cage, and another one off in the distance. So I went ahead and freed this one. Figured I might as well have somebody at least on my side against these pillagers. I went ahead and freed him. At that point I went ahead and decided I was gonna fight these guys. That way maybe the iron golem can help me out, so I won't have to worry about it too much. But at first he wasn't leaving his cage. Then once he did, he just kind of stood around there, which I wasn't expecting. And then when I started fighting the second one, the iron golem still didn't help me out. And when I finished fighting this guy, I took a look around, and he wasn't there. And I looked around, and he was off in the distance, hanging out with a pig. What a jerk. I freed him, and he didn't even help me out. So I decided to free this one, hoping for better luck this time by helping me fight these guys. But again, he just kind of stayed in his cage for a bit, didn't move around, and I went off to go fight one of the last pillagers. After I fought him, I took a search around the building until I found the entrance, and went ahead and hopped on in and climbed up. And inside, I checked the chest, and I found some carrots, potatoes, bottle of enchanting, some iron, some dark oak blocks, tripwire, crossbow. And at this point, my inventory was so stuffed I needed to find a way to bring back a bunch of items, but also kind of manage how everything was set up. It took me quite a bit to figure out what to do, until I figured that I can take my oak wood planks and turn them into sticks, and then just throw the tripwire in that slot. And then I just started my journey home. And I put this in a time lapse. It's at 300% the normal speed, and it's still going to take a very long time for me to reach the end of this time lapse. It took quite a bit of time because how I went, I probably could have just gone back the way I came and it would have been much faster, but instead I decided to take my boat through this river and then have to get out at the end of the river and then start climbing this mountain. I start using the boat to get across easier because at least I can land on that, and then I accidentally knock it down. So I go after it and figure, okay, I'm already down here, might as well sail down the rest of the river. The river ends and I have to climb up this part of the mountain, and I just start running. And it takes me quite a bit of time to finish this part of the run. At this point I get in my boat and I don't stop sailing until I reach home. So this part takes forever. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about other stuff right now while it goes on. So you guys might be aware that I I have just started this YouTube channel. This is my third video only. And I'd like to get some more feedback from you guys, thinking of what you guys want to see. If you guys like more creative mode players, if you like more survival mode players, hardcore players, mini games, just let me know, and I'll try to squeeze that kind of stuff into my content. Right now I'm just doing survival, since that's just the base Minecraft game, so figure that'll be okay for now. If you guys have any ideas that I might not be aware of for like what kind of servers there are, because all I know about the well-known servers is like the survival games, which is basically like a Hunger Games ripoff, or like Battle Royale sort of deal. So it would be nice to get some better ideas. But at this point, I start getting home, and right as the sun rises, so it was a pretty beautiful scene, and I was happy that I was able to make it fine and all in one piece. I go ahead and plant some of the stuff that I picked up, like some of these carrots and the seeds we found along the way. I plant all my sugarcane that I found, which was quite a bit. Pretty soon this farm's gonna start kicking off. After that, I went ahead and finished up my roof a little bit. I used dark oak planks this time instead of the ones I was using before, specifically because I had them available. Might as well use them. And to top it off, I decided to use some hay. And at first I kind of messed it up, so I decided to fix it. Might as well have it looking the same on all four angles. After that, I went ahead and checked out the treasure map. It seems like we were pretty far away. It was not the treasure I thought it was going to be. And if you watched the last video, what I thought the treasure was going to be was the treasure chest that we found that wasn't buried. So I set sail to go find it, and it took me quite a bit of time to get there, but eventually I did. Ended up being next to this glacier that we passed before, and I remember in the first video we also passed this, and I point out this structure, but at first I didn't realize what it was. And actually I'm gonna go ahead and put this in another time lapse because this part took forever. So this is at 1000% the normal speed, and it's going to look a little glitchy because my software can't handle 1000% speed, but that's how fast this has to go. Otherwise it's going to take forever. I think most of my video consisted of this piece. Yeah. But eventually I do find it, and it was really exciting once I did, because this at this point I was already starting to form this huge crater next to this temple-like structure. But it was basically just a heart of the sea, some iron, and some iron armor. There was a couple potions in it, but it just wasn't worth it in my opinion. It took way too long for me to find it, and I honestly felt bad after I did. I felt like I had wasted my time.